Stale bread. Gross. Yeah. Ew.
You know, that bread was pretty gross.
Just gross.
Guys, last week was a great discussion. Probably one of the best ones we've ever had so far. A few of the things we talked about. Why was manna brought up so many times?
As we think about the bread of life, I want to talk to you for a second about manna. What is it? Why did Jesus mention it? So first of all, manna is bread. If you remember, in the book of Exodus, second book of the Old Testament, remember Sunday school, you got it. In the book of Exodus, God's people, the Israelites, they were slaves in Egypt. Now, God didn't want his people to be slaves, so God sent Moses. Moses took God's people, the Israelites, and freed them from slavery and was bringing them to the promised land. Well, on that journey from slavery to freedom, God's people needed food, so God gave them bread, manna. Well, in the Old Testament, when Moses freed God's people from slavery in Egypt, he gave them bread for the journey. In the New Testament, Jesus says he's the new Moses, and he doesn't just want to free the Israelites, but he wants to free all people. And he doesn't just want to free from physical slavery, he wants to free from any and every form of slavery, and he is the bread that sustains us on this journey. So if Jesus is the new Moses that leads all people on a new exodus from all forms of slavery and into freedom, the question is, how do we get the bread to sustain us for that journey? Now let's be real. All of us have struggles, we have difficulties. Our lives aren't perfect lives. We don't live the perfect Christian life every moment of every day. As a matter of fact, conversely, we all mess up. We all do things that might even make you seem like we're choosing slavery instead of freedom. And actually, for me personally, there was this one time got to be real about stuff like that. So then the question becomes, do you know the things in your life that enslave you? And do you want freedom? And once you've answered that question, and take it seriously, figure out what your answer to that question is. But once you've answered that question, then you can begin to figure out how Jesus can be the one to sustain you on your journey from slavery to freedom. When you're with your family, what would you do? When you're with your friends, what would you do? When you're at home alone, what would you do? When you're at school, what would you do? In this segment, we're gonna ask specific questions about life and simply say, what would you do to choose freedom over slavery? What would you do to live out your Christian faith? This week's question, gossip. If you overhear somebody gossiping about a friend of yours, if a friend of yours is gossiping about somebody else, if you find out that somebody else is gossiping about you, what would you do? When you encounter gossip in your life, what would you do to choose freedom over slavery?
All right, hey guys, thank you again for watching. Next week we got Faceplant, which is gonna be super exciting. I cannot wait for that.
We love the conversations we're having. We hope these videos will keep them going. And we just hope this week, every one of us is able to find a place where we choose freedom over slavery. We'll post every Thursday. Make sure to subscribe if you haven't done so already. Leave your comments, leave your suggestions, leave your answers to the questions in the comments below.